Good morning. I can't say enough times how closely associated tinnitus and mental health are, and how so often we have to treat both of these in order to be okay again. I just want to read you a story from someone named Andrew that shared with us. He said, without being too dramatic, I was at a stage 6 months ago where I stood on a bench in the garage with a rope around my neck. The screaming noise was too much to bear, but I lacked the courage. I opted to give it a few more weeks. I found your post, that's my post, on YouTube. They gave me hope that things may improve, and slowly I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. God bless you, sir. You give people the will to fight. I wonder how many lives you have saved. That is a question. Wow, I never even thought about that until last night. I actually woke up about 6 a.m. having only slept about four and a half hours. I usually will wake up and then go back to sleep. And I just wrote him and told him I've definitely got to respond to this tomorrow. Well, first I don't want to take credit for saving lives, but if there's something that I can do that helps you to get to the next place, with this tinnitus, I'm so happy if I'm able to do that. That's wonderful. I think so many of us have been in a place at some point. It may not have been to the point of suicide, but or maybe it was for some people, but where it just seemed it would be impossible to be in a better place. That this sound would rule us for the rest of our life and we would never be better. And that just couldn't be any farther from the truth. We absolutely can get better, but the thing is, when you're there in the trenches, when you just got it, or haven't learned to deal with it yet, it seems like it's impossible. I get it. But the fact is, and you read Andrew's story, he's getting it. He's starting to feel better. He's not so like just having the tinnitus dominate his life like it did before. So I don't know, where you are as you watch my video right now, but I just want to just let you hear very clearly how so many people were in that position where, oh my God, it will be impossible to deal with this. There's no way. There's no way forward. My life is shot. And no, it's not. There is a way forward. And believe it or not, as loud as it seems and impossible to ignore, we all had a similar story, and then we learned to ignore it. And I say learned to, it sort of faded into the background of our life, and we went on with life. And you will too. But you've got to do the work. And, when it comes to not only just recovering from tinnitus and habituating to it to the point where you don't even think about it anymore, wow, if you can do this, because you see how hard it is. If you can do this, there's so much more possible in your life, and you can go on to do some really wonderful things, and the best times are yet to come for you. Believe it or not, this story is so possible. So I first invite you to admit to the possibility that what I'm saying is true, that you actually could have even better times ahead as you knock down this tinnitus. And I get it. You probably hear people say, well, actually, it doesn't actually go away. I mean, occasionally it does. There is that hope. Even people after 10 years, 20 years, it just went away. But believe it or not, it's just like you get to where you don't even think about it anymore, and like it's sort of there, but if you're not thinking about it, it's not there. And it's like that. But like I said, you've got to do the work. So the first thing is accept that it's possible. Your life can be much, much better, and maybe even better than maybe better with the tinnitus than without it. Believe it or not, I kind of feel almost like that. Because it made me change, made me improve some other things in my life too. Okay, and then the second thing, I'm a little bit repetitive here, but You've got to realize that it's not going to hurt you. It's not a threat. You're not going to die from it. You're not going to have some weird thing happen in your body with your heart or something. It's just a sound. And the reason that it's so important is, as you come to realize it's not a threat, your brain deprioritizes it. And then it gets a little quieter. It gets a little easier to not notice. So it is not a threat. It is not a threat. It will not hurt you. I always have to qualify when I say things like this, that go to the emergency room. Have them check you. If they tell you you're fine, you're fine. You're not going to die. These doctors are trained to look for any kind of warning sign, that might be, lead to the idea. And so then don't be all suspicious that they're wrong and stuff. Believe them, because they're trained to catch this stuff. Any sort of gray area about whether you're going to be okay or not, they have to address that. It's their job. It's their livelihood on the line. So anyways, I just have to always say that. But anyways, as you accept it's not a threat, then the next stage, after realizing it's not a threat, because you first got to do that, the next stage is you have to change the way you think about it, change what you say about it. So if you're always saying, oh man, this is a drag, I can't make the sound go away, it's driving me nuts. These kinds of statements have to go. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. I can deal with it. My life will be better. I'm gonna learn to habituate to tinnitus, and I'm gonna get to the point where I don't even notice it anymore. I like to go even further and say it's a nice sound. It's a nice little ringing sound, Because what is a sound? How do you decide if it's a nice sound or a bad sound? Well, your brain does that, doesn't it? I guess we're sort of trained, like if it sounds like an alarm going off, that's one thing. Or it might sound like crickets, and just nice, relaxing crickets while you go to sleep. I don't know. A waterfall. So it's how you think about it is yet another step. Not just in, I'm trying to just explain, like, it's how your brain deals with it. It's not just your conscious thought. It's the subconscious. It's that part of the brain that actually releases chemistry into your body. So by you, number one, should I use number one? Number one, teaching your brain it's not a threat, and number two, actually teaching your brain it's nothing, like it's something easy to deal with. I kind of like it, actually. As you talk like that, your brain, your subconscious brain, the way it releases the chemistry in your body changes. And what a powerful thing to learn, that you can impact the chemistry in your body in a positive way so that you actually feel better more of the time. And tinnitus can teach you how to do that. So, like, this is powerful stuff if you'll set to doing this. There are some details to these steps, which I cover in some of the other videos. Like when you're so having difficulty just going through 1 minute without thinking about it, you've got to learn to implement some activities and where you're challenged to use your brain to do something besides think about tinnitus. It could be drawing, playing music, singing, dancing, exercising, those kinds of things. Learning a language, I think, is a great one. I speak Chinese, believe it or not, quite fluently. So, I would just say, thank you, Andrew, for sharing your story about the dark time you went through, and then giving other people hope that as you were at the lowest point, you were ready to end it, and you got some hope, and you started saying, I'm going to try. And you watch my video. I feel fortunate too, that you did that. I'm fortunate for you and for me, that maybe what I'm doing here, sometimes my videos only get 100 views or whatever. I don't know if it's just a robot or if it's a real person watching me, but I do get the comments like that, and then I'm like, wow, okay, there's actually real people here watching the video, and they are benefiting from it. And wow, I mean, just wow. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Well, keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. Okay. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you later. Bye bye.